Here's a really quick recording showing you how to take the default mark book that I've imported for all courses and to make changes to it so that it's ready for you to put in your marks. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to Assessment and you need to go to Markbook. When you load that up, you'll probably see a list of both your personal and the faculty markbooks. We're just going to work with the faculty markbooks at this point in time. Now, in order to do this next task, what you're going to need a copy of an assessment grid, assessment plan, because you're going to need to work from there to work out which outcomes are being assessed in each of the tasks that you're going to enter marks for. So just for argument's sake, I'm going to pick a Year 11 course. So I clicked on the markbook, and then we can see that when I click on the actual class, what's going to happen is that we're going to see a default setup for the course. Now, there's a couple of things about the setup in Sentral. The first thing is the purple or the bluey coloured columns are places where we can enter marks, and the green coloured columns are calculated values. So if I scroll to the right, you'll notice there's some headings. So each task needs to be grouped together, so it's called a column group. Please leave Semester 1 reporting as a column group without making any changes to it. And hopefully you'll also have, if you scroll across, something called Semester 2 reporting as a column group. So please don't make any changes to those two column groups, but feel free to make changes to any of your other column groups as required. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is I'm just going to head back to the markbook home because I've just realised I've made changes to that markbook already. I'm going to pick another one that hopefully doesn't have any marks in it. Okay, so when we have a look at this markbook, and just to show you what I did then, is I've actually clicked on the markbook and then I've gone into Edit, which allows me to change what the markbook looks like inside it, change the columns, change the tasks. So you can see here in task 1, I have 2 outcomes here, and I have 2 school-wide learning outcomes. Now, what I need to do, or what I'm asking each of you to do, is to make changes to the items inside each of the column groups so that they reflect the actual task. So for example, if in Year 7 TAS, task 1 uses outcome 2.1 and 4.3, I need to go in and make sure that these say 2.1, 4.3, and obviously they won't say the letter H because that usually denotes a HSC course. So if I have a column that I want to make changes to, I can click Action and then Edit Task. I'm then free to change these as I wish. My preference is that your task name and task heading have the outcome numbers in them or the school-wide learning outcome, and you need to also check what the task is out of. So you don't need to say that this is task 1 up here, just make sure it sits in the correct or appropriate column group. We're going to always use whole numbers because we don't use half numbers in reporting. And we'll click Save. So you can see now that's been updated. So I'm going to change the next one as well, assuming that this is an accurate reflection. We're going to make this one out of 10. Again, task 1 is correct and whole numbers only. Now let's say I have another outcome, say 5.2 that I want to add. How do I do that? I'm going to add something up here called a new task. And a task is merely a column. So in a new task, we're going to call this 5.1. Notice if you don't type anything in column heading and hit Tab, it actually will add the task name into your column heading. Leave weighting blank, and I'm going to say this is out of 15. I'm going to add it to task 1 and make it a whole number. So you'll notice now that 5.1's been added, and I can use these 3 parallel lines to drag and move around tasks. So I'm going to have all of my subject outcomes first and then my school-wide learning outcomes. I need something that has the mark attached to it. Now, if the mark is merely an addition of these 3 outcomes, I can add a new calculation and make it an addition. If it's not, if this is a grade that I have to enter for whatever reason, I can just go straight away and just go new task. And I need a rank. And of course, rank is going to be a new calculation. I'm going to select rank. Once you've done that and edited each of the task groups or column groups as they're called in Sentral, so that they actually reflect what outcomes are being reported on and being marked for each task, then what you can do, or what you should be able to do, is go back to all at the top here. You'll now be able to see the changes you made, so you can see 2.1, 4.3 and 5.1. It also tells you after the / what that is out of. And now you're ready to make changes or add marks into your markbook. In order to do that, if you click on the very top, if you click your class to start with, and then you click on a column, you actually have the ability then to edit marks. And by clicking on the column and clicking edit marks, it opens up every person's mark in your class for that particular item of the task or the assignment. If, say, you wanted to enter all of, say, Thomas Aquilina's marks, you could do so by clicking on the pencil beside his name, and that would open up his entire row. Once you've finished entering your marks, it's always a good idea to just click recalculate all. So any of these green fields will then recalculate. And there's no need to save because it does save as it goes. If there are any questions, please swing past and see me. Good luck.